We are live. We are live. What is good, everyone? I'm back at today. Very important day, not because it's the anniversary of Italy's entry into World War I. If you know the old song, Il pioveva morava caque placime, place mossaggio, debris di fanti fetti quattro macho. No, it's not because of that. Because Rino Disingenuous, Ron DeSantis, Meatball, had Ron DeSantis. Guy we all thought was going to be the future. Turns out be a total fraud. He's going to be announcing, and I'm going to try and be live when that happens. But we're going to have some stories to cover about some stories to cover. It's going to be pretty heavily focused on DeSantis, on the lying meatball known as Ron DeSantis. And further vindicating people like Alex Dershowitz, Laura Loomer, Roger Stone, MAGA Catholic, Johnny MAGA. I could go on. It will also be verifying what President Donald Trump has said on his True Social. And we've also seen other people, Jack Posobiec, Jackson Hank, Haas of the Infrared. The list goes on and on of people who have called out DeSantis, and they are about to receive total vindication, total validation. It's going to be glorious. The list goes on and on. And first off, we've got a terrifying photo. We've got something this is Ron DeSantis right now. One of the most terrifying. So I got the hiccups. Things you'll ever see of Ron DeSantis. But that's not. Although we do like the Legion mirrors, that was not from the Legion mirrors. And you know who else is going to end up being validated? Charlie Chris, who was calling out DeSantis because he was refused to announce if he was going to run or not. Doesn't mean that I like Charlie Chris. I think I'm still kind of glad. Is it even much better? I guess. But another person who is going to end up being validated is also Jeremy of Geeks and Gamers. And I've been trying to work on getting him on as a guest. I think that would be pretty big because look how I got my Geeks and Gamers shirt on. And, I might actually start clipping out parts of the stream and uploading them to YouTube. So look forward to that. But anyway, first off, we should get into a little thing you might not know about DeSantis. Let's see. All right. So this is older article, but still pretty relevant. So it's from the Daily Mail. So exclusive. Prominent DeSantis ally who shot himself dead last year was under investigation for using sold out Taylor Swift tickets to lure teen to his office and show him her breasts, then trying to buy the family sign. So Kent Sermon, age 50 of Jacksonville, was facing allegations of sexual misconduct involving a minor girl after her family refused his five-figure hush money deal. So, and it goes on to say, political donor, he was a donor behind DeSantis' rise, and he was into doing some pretty terrible things to minors. Let's just say that. So this article goes on to say that, quote, Kent's Thurman's suicide in December came shortly after the girl's father turned down a five-figure sum in a large hush money deal and reported him to the police instead, we have learned. So this was back in December of 2022 this happened. The prominent DeSantis ally and GOP donor who was based in Jacksonville, Florida, was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with the girl for whom he had obtained highly sought-after Taylor Swift concert tickets, which he said he'd give her if she sent him a photo of her breast. And goes on. And here's some evidence obtained by the police. And let's see. After the girl reluctantly complied, Sermon insisted she collect the tickets at his office, but when she turned up, he refused to let her leave until she showed him the real thing. Law enforcement sources say, "What the hell is wrong with this man?" Gee. The teenager balked at the idea, and he eventually let her go. There, she told her boyfriend and her father about the encounter, prompting her dad to fiercely confront Sturman at an arranged meeting at a dinner in Atlantic Beach, according to sources. It was there that Sturman offered him the five-figure sum to keep quiet, but the dad refused. Not too long after, on December 8th, Sturman killed himself just as Jacksonville police were launching their probe into the girl's claim. The Daily Mail understands that while the girl is now a legal adult, those investigations uncovered allegations that Sturman had an inappropriate relationship with the girl when she was a minor. Jacksonville Sheriff Office has repeatedly refused to comment on the investigation when contacted the Daily Mail.com, saying that the probe is ongoing. So when Daily Mail were contacting, I think that's normal procedure, actually. You can correct me down below, but anyway, but it did refer to the victim, indicating the probe is focused on one person's allegation. This ties in with our own inquiries about a man with a reputation for relieving in use the power he had created for himself. To me, Sturman killing himself simply over one incident with an adult doesn't pass the litmus test, one law enforcement officer told DailyMail.com. There's more to it. Very possible it was the start of the rope that would unravel. It was a possibility of exposing what might have happened to the girl happened when the girl was a minor in their acquiescent. What might have happened. The source At worst, what happened recently was false imprisonment and a request to look at arrest. That's not enough. After all, he could claim, hey, both were adults. She flirted with me, I flirted with her. She consented to be in my office. But she was younger. That's the key to the investigation. As a convicted sexual predator, he would have been looking at 15 to 20 years. And for someone who lived in a multi-million-dollar home in an exclusive gay community, that is some downfall. Sturman's attorney, David Barksdale, did not return calls for comment. Sturman was an immensely powerful behind-the-scenes figure in DeSantis' rise, having had a major impact in catapulting him to the governor's mansion in Tallahassee in 2018. The following year, DeSantis appointed his friend to the Board of Governors, which is responsible for Florida's public university system. DeSantis also put him on his transition team, and for a while DeSantis rented a condo owned by Sturman, according to Politico. And this is the weird thing. DeSantis had stayed with this guy. So now DeSantis, 44, is the most likely candidate to derail Donald Trump's bid for the Republican nomination in 2024. He's widely expected to run, but has not yet officially announced. Kent was very influential. Florida politics reporter A.G. Genkarski told First Coast News after his death, "You wouldn't have Ron DeSantis as governor without Ken Sturman. He was big with everything in the local party and the state party." Sturman was also failing in health at the time of his death. He had suffered a stroke just 3 days earlier, and his heart was constantly monitored remotely by the Mayo Clinic. His wife, Christine, discovered he was dead when the clinic called her to say his monitor had stopped. On the day of his death, Christine asked him if he wanted to join her on our trip to the pet store, but he said he wanted to rest. Shortly after, he texted his daughter telling her he was going to get gas, but instead drove 7 miles to a post office in Lake Beach, Florida, where he shot himself in his gray 2021 Dodge Ram truck in the parking lot in the early evening. The location has led to some speculation he may have mailed an item crucial to his case. After his death, the governor's office released a statement saying DeSantis and his wife Casey, a former Jacksonville TV reporter, were shocked and saddened to hear of Kent's passing, and their prayers are with his family during this difficult time. We can also reveal that Sturman, and this is pretty. If you want to read the rest of the article, you can. It's pretty decently long, but right now that's pretty suspicious. I mean, Ron DeSantis, what were you doing with this guy? I just want to ask, what were you doing with this guy? I hope somebody asked him that question. God really pressed him, and just here's some crumbs from my sandwich I just had before, because I really didn't eat that today up to that point. But getting back, gotta ask those important questions. Somebody's got to ask those important questions on Ken Sturman and his and DeSantis ties to the Bushes. Gitmo's another one. I'll try and look up. I just want you to react to this.
Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, is being hyped as the next GOP candidate for president. But a recent expose on DeSantis' past from Mike Preisner of Empire Files should send chills down voters' spines. DeSantis' military career is shrouded in secrecy and reporting about it is vague. Upon digging, we find when DeSantis joined the military, he did odd jobs, which included collection of urine samples of soldiers for testing purposes. But, in 2006, he suddenly found himself as a JAG lawyer at Guantanamo Bay in the Bush administration. Although his official job
Keep in mind the Bushes. That's going to be important.
Description was to observe the humane treatment of prisoners, his actions prove otherwise.
Just a warning, the following interview contains some graphic descriptions of torture.
I'm not. I'm going to play this. I don't think we're going to get hit. Let me actually pull up. I think we're good on the stream. Let me use YouTube. Let me go to the studio mode. Because obviously I don't want to get hit. I really don't want to get hit. All right, I think we're good. So,
Guantanamo, Mike, it was created out of the legal zone, out of the legal system, out of the humanity base. Torture was the mechanism of Guantanamo. Torture, abuse, and experimenting on prisoners is Guantanamo. We went on a massive hunger strike in 2005, and was like over 500 prisoners participated in the hunger strike. And at that time, the only way to calm us down were they told us, okay, we are going to talk to listen to your need. We believed them that they would negotiate and talk to us. And we told them that's what we need, But it was a trap, basically. I saw a fucking handsome person who was coming. He said, I'm here to ensure that you're treating humanely. But it was piece of the game. What they were doing, they were looking what hurt you more to use it against you. By the end of 2005, 2006, when he was there, one of the worst time at Guantanamo, literally. Yes. And Ron DeSantis was there and watching us. We were crying, screaming. We were tied to the feeding chair, and that guy, he was watching that, he was laughing, basically. We were beating all day long, all day. There's a team. Whatever you do, they just beat you. Pepper spray, beating, sleep deprivation, that continued for 3 months, and he was there.
DeSantis was serving in Iraq in 2007, again, the worst year of combat. If he participated in torture at Gitmo, which has some supervision, a black site in Iraq would be unimaginable levels of torture. We encourage anyone with any corroborating accounts to come forward. Please like, comment and share this video.
So that's pretty telling. I mean, guys, listen. He is not this anti-established guy. He is not. And he is, you saw the satire thing. I'm going to get to that. But this guy is 100% trying to he's 100% in the bush. And I want to get another video up. And I know this video is from like 2013.
Who's like the most inspirational person you've met and why?
Inspirational person that I've met? I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think who in kind of modern times. I mean, part of the thing when you're growing up, when you're a blue collar kid, I don't really get to meet a lot of people. And then even in Congress now, I've only been there for 4 months. I mean, I guess I probably would say Bush 41.
Well, who's like the most
Bush 41. The Bushes aren't good people. Do I need to go further back to Prescott? Good old Prescott.
Is this Ron DeSantis' opportunity to run for higher office?
I think it is. He's been a really effective governor. He's young. I think we're on the verge of a generational change in our politics. I kind of hope.
You mean going back to the good old ways where Republicans were the party of the establishment, the warmongers?
Hope so. I think it's time for a more forward-leaning, future-oriented conversation in our politics as well.
Which has made him, should he choose to run for president, a serious contender in Republican politics.
And who better to do it than someone who's been outside of Washington, who's governed effectively, who I think has shown that Florida could be a model for the future of our country.
I guess you mean more censorship bills, Jeb. And there's another, what did I want to play? Sometimes I forget these things and I'm just so frustrated. Let's see. Because I can't remember. Oh, yeah. I think it was from Red Eagle. I forgot who it was. You know, it might have been someone else. Might have been. Can't seem to find it. I forgot who it was from, but it was someone saying if DeSantis should hang on, let me actually look. Can't find it. Oh well. That stinks. But let's actually get some. And I've been saying this for a while now. And Paul Ingracia, who was actually on the first episode of Mega Catholic Show, he puts it really well. Ron DeSantis' fake war on Disney was yet another PR stunt intended to boost his credentials in the eyes of the donor class. Fox is owned by Disney. Fox loves DeSantis. This was never about fighting, 20th Century Fox. Fox News is not At least not yet. Never know. Is owned by Disney. Fox is never about fighting corporate wokeism. If DeSantis actually took on Disney, he would never be allowed on Fox again. Donald Trump is the only person who denigrated damage upon Disney's brand. Don't believe the narrative Fox News is spoon feeding the cow about lightweight Ron. DeSantis is and always will be pro Disney because that's where his money is from. That's actually pretty true because Disney was sponsoring a lot of. They actually sponsored DeSantis' inauguration. Let's see. So here's from actually RT. So it looks official. So this is apparently Florida Governor Ron DeSantis officially files paperwork with the Federal Elections Commission to run for president. Ron DeSantis for president. And look, it's got all this stuff. He got rid of the resign to run law. Should have waited, Ron. You're done. No way he's going to. Unless they prop him up, which. Yeah. They might. Because all the Democrats candidates are pretty poor, except RFK Jr. But RFK Jr., they don't want him. You really think the establishment wants RFK Jr.? They're probably more afraid of him than Trump. So, looks to be official. And all right, this is actually pretty funny. Ron DeSantis can't win the general election or get the nomination because he voted to obliterate Social Security, even wanting to raise the minimum age to 70 or more. Voted to badly woo Medicare and fought hard and voted for a 23% tax on everything, sales tax. He is and is a disciple of horrible Rhino, Paul Ryan, and others, too many to mention. He also desperately needs a personality transplant, and to the best of my knowledge, they are not medically available yet. A disloyal person. And someone wrote, Focus your research, Benedict Arnold. We don't need any more GOP globalists or warmongers in government. Exactly, but classic from Trump, classic from 45 and 47. Assuming they don't do anything else. Oh, Tina Turner unfortunately passed away. It's unfortunate. Back to the DeSantis. let's actually, because I have been wanting to cover that pre-bombing and damn
16.
But here's actually something.
President Trump defeats the liberals and heads to Washington to drain the swamp. But swamp creature Ron DeSantis is about to start his third term in Congress, and he's already voted repeatedly to cut Social Security and Medicare. 2017, Trump passes huge tax cuts for nearly everyone. And Ron DeSantis, he's pushing a bill that would swap those tax cuts for a new 23% national sales tax, making families pay more. 2018, Trump is building the wall, securing the border, fighting the invasion, while Ron DeSantis is voting against funding for Trump's wall. In Washington, one was a leader and one let us down. Even DeSantis admitted there are big differences between him and Trump.
Obviously there is, because I've been outvoted contrary to him in the Congress.
It is obvious, Ron. President Trump is the only one ready on day one to deliver for us again. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
An itch. So, DeSantis is supposed to be the America. Sorry, I really have an itch. Copy link. Apparently, what's that?
Biden a lot. I understand. You think you're going to be running against him. I can see how you might get confused, but you're running for governor. You're running for governor. And I have a question for you. You're running for governor. Why don't you look in the eyes of the people of the state of Florida and say to them, if you're reelected, you will serve a full 4-year term as governor? Yes or no?
At the time,
Yes or
I
no?
thought the reason Ron didn't want to answer is because he thought he was trying to be obvious that he wasn't going to run, or I don't know, it was something stupid, but should have listened.
Ron, will you serve a full 4-year term if you're reelected governor of Florida? It's not a tough question. It's a fair question. He won't tell you. Yes or no, Ron? Will you serve a full 4-year term if you're reelected governor of Florida? It's not a tough question. It's a fair question. He won't tell you. You talk about Joe Biden.
Fair question. He won't tell you. Here's another thing you probably don't know. First, let's see. DeSantis co-sponsored a bill to make socialist Puerto Rico a state that would completely change the electorate at 2 Democratic seats and open the door to make D.C. a state. This was while Trump was in office. DeSantis ain't MAGA. There was one time where I did support that, but when I learned the real reason why it was, I was like, no, because the only reason why I supported that, it would be historical, but wow. And here's some pathetic beta male energy coming from Chip Roy. Hang on, where is it? Here's some pathetic beta male energy. So this is in response to that. Pathetic. The Trump White House literally conspired with GOP leadership to advance a terrible border immigration bill, and conservatives opposed it. It was a situation normal at the time. Chip Soy, remember when you defended Liz Cheney after she voted to impeach Trump? That's because he is a Bush Cheney. I was called Chip Roy. I should. Maybe Chip Roy, you should. You pathetic beta loser. I got some news.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
And let me actually get to this before I forget. And we covered it, so it was a little tongue-in-cheek, but because many years ago, turns out the most famous out of Ron DeSantis' political career was just a joke after all. Interview with John Stossely, I think. And this is actually that same guy from the Daily Mail article that was interviewed. Sorry. It was a little. So, DeSantis took a name at those who seriously. took aim at those who took seriously his ad from 2018 primary campaign, which DeSantis acted like a Trump mini-me by teaching one this is how to build a wall and reading to another from the art of the deal. Well, if you watch that, I mean, it was a satirical ad, said the governor, who was described in the spot as a pit bull Trump defender. It was a little tongue-in-cheek, but that was, many years ago. DeSantis acknowledged the attention the ad brought him during his first run for governor. Well, I mean, without Trump's endorsement, you wouldn't have been governor. I was running and we wanted to get something right. And so I knew if we did that, it would cause the press to go to their and they would do as they would do. It should probably do as they would to be outraged by it, but they would keep playing it, and so people would see it. They complain. I don't even know how much money we paid to run. But the media ran it for us because we were so upset, that it was a pro-Trump ad. The ad position Mr. DeSantis has the Trumpiest candidate in the 2018 field. The reminders that he was endorsed over Adam Putnam. Everyone knows my husband Ron DeSantis is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids, said Casey DeSantis in the spot. While the ad may have been satirical, the former president continued to emphasize that his endorsement got DeSantis elected. I got him the nomination, by the way. He could have never gotten the nomination. He would be working either in either a pizza parlor place or a law office right now, he told Fox News' Sean Hannity in March. That is true. And so DeSantis was initially this is if you're in that area in South Florida. Because apparently there's I don't know. Maybe there's some people who will watch this later who will be in. If you're protesting Governor DeSantis' announcement today, it's at the Four Seasons Resort on Brickwell Ave, as has been publicly reported on it. Reciprocation starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Space starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's not in South Beach. There are 2 Four Seasons in Miami. So I'm not sure when I'm going to go live actually tonight. Because I am going to go live tonight, or attempt to go live, because I'm probably going to get not a lot of appeal because of, well, let's just say DeSantis is can be a good president. He's not going to get the nominee. Let's be honest with ourselves. I think that's probably all I really wanted to cover on DeSantis. You know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. I will see you later. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.